Okay, these are my Poshmark sales for kind of mid-October to the end of November. First was this Buffalo Sabres hockey jersey. This was an actual jersey, number 9. I looked up, well, I think it was on the back. Eichel was the player, and I sold this for $60. I paid $4 or $5.99 for that. Of course, on Poshmark, the buyers pay shipping. Next was a Quaker Factory denim jean embroidered jumper or overall dress in a size 1X. You know this is going to sell. These overall jumpers I definitely would pick up if they're in good condition and you get them at the right price. I paid $3.99 for this, and this sold for $30 on Poshmark, and I would have picked it up regardless of the brand. So Quaker Factory I sometimes pick up, sometimes I don't. I think it's sold on QVC. It has a lot of cute like embroidery. This had bees, honeybees on it. Next, a parrot wallet. I think this was a bundle. Yeah, there was a Beanie Baby Buddy that I sold for $12, and this And Other Stories, which is the name of the wallet. It was just a had parrots on it, and it was a passport holder. Okay, let me get back to where I was here. I'm trying to go quick, and I went right off of the page that I was on. Okay, here I am. Okay, vintage wool skirt jacket. This was from about the 1960s. Very, very small size. A lot of the vintage clothing can be. And I sold that for $31. I picked it up for just $4.99. Next, a great sale. I loved this tapestry bird pillow. I paid $1.99 for this and sold it for $28 on Poshmark. A sale that took a long time was this Top Man UK marled black sweater. I sold it for $18. I picked it up for 99 cents on 99-cent day at the Salvation Army. Took forever to sell. I don't think I would pick up Top Man again. Next, wonderful sale, Fossil. I love Fossil if it's in good condition. This was a really beautiful, practically brand new messenger bag. So kind of hung down like a newsboy kind of messenger bag, shoulder bag. Crossbody. This was called the Fossil Explorer Tote, and I picked that up for $9.99 and I sold it for $85 on Poshmark. Next, another pair of Michael Kors shoes. I don't know why I had so many, but these sold for $33. They were originally $195. They were black Oxford with really prominent grommets. They had kind of almost a grunge look to them, punk look. Next, this 1980s secretary dress, or called a geek dress. This was midi length and blue, just a $15 sale. It took forever to sell that particular one. This is next a pair of Danskos. I love to sell Danskos. I got these for $1 at a really small thrift store in the Thousand Islands that we go to during the summer when we're up there camping, and these were vegan, multicolored stripes, and I sold them for $30. So $1 into $30 all day long. Next, a pair of Cole Haan. I love to pick up Cole Haan. A lot of people don't pick it up so much anymore, but for me, it sells really well. I usually find it in great condition, and some of the styles just do really well. So I picked these up for just $4.99 and I sold them for $62 on Poshmark. They were called Juliana was the style. They were patent leather ballet flats. Next, this really pretty caftan or muumuu sleeping gown by Anthony Richards from the 1970s. I paid $1.99 for that and sold it for $28. Next, a really beautiful Afghan. Afghans are great to pick up. I have the hardest time listing Afghans because I don't really have a great place to kind of lay them out. You can see in this photo, I laid it over a bed frame that I also sold locally, and I sold it for $70. I picked it up for $6.99. Next, a pair of leather Danish clogs by the brand Sanita. These were in my New York City thrift trip when I went into the city and we went thrifting. I picked these up at a kind of a high-end, boutique style thrift store. It's a great video if you're interested in seeing, what I found in New York City. I picked these up for $15 and I sold them for $45 on Poshmark. A great sale is this beautiful, also Kislock calf skin purse in just absolutely wonderful condition. It was a very small just handbag from the 1950s by the company Mamselle. or Mademoiselle with the apostrophe. And I picked that up for $2.99 and sold it for $35. A sale that I probably wouldn't pick up again. It was just this cute little Amy and Lulu hat. I didn't know the brand. It was 99 cents. I picked it up. It took forever to sell, and I got a $7 offer, and I took it just to basically kind of make my money back and a tiny bit of profit. Next, a graphic t-shirt. It was vintage. It had the single stitch on the sleeve. So if you look, if you're not familiar with vintage t-shirts, I would recommend looking up other sellers who do vintage t-shirts, but one of the clues is made in USA, and also a single stitch around the sleeve rather than 2 lines of stitching. This was a graphic t-shirt. You always want to say graphic t-shirt in your keywords, and it was a Chelsea, New York City hook and ladder fire truck company. So you just think somebody's going to want that, whether they want it for the kitsch kind of fun graphic, or if they have some connection to Chelsea hook and ladder fire truck company, so or fire truck organization. So this was 99 cents and I sold it for $19. Next, a pair of Lori Goldstein logo shoes. I probably would not just pick her up just on name brand, but these were really cute, camo with calf hair. So two really popular features that these sneakers had. So I picked these up for $3.99 and they sold for $28 on Poshmark. Next, a set of 2 vintage Irish coffee mugs from, I think it was a restaurant or a bar called Paddy's, and they were Irish coffee mugs, and I just picked them up for 79 cents each and sold them for $15 on Poshmark. Next, this is one of my favorite sales, not a high-end sale, but I loved this bag and I priced it way too high. That's what happens when you find something that you're not necessarily going to keep, but you yourself personally love it and you price it too high and it just stays forever and ever and ever. And that's what happened with this bag. I finally dropped the price. It was a designer bag from Spain, and I don't even have the company in the title. I'm gonna have to open that up and look at my I'm not even gonna be able to do it. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it. It was a Spanish designer that was not well known in the United States, but super high-end, beautiful leather and calf hair with this zebra stripe and brown. I picked it up for just $4.99. I ended up dropping the price to $36. I had it up over $70 at one time. I think I might have even had it up to $100 because I just personally loved it, but I wasn't going to keep it. So it finally sold when I, relented and dropped the price, probably about where it should have been. Next, a pair of Mark Fisher suede boots. These are booties. They had pointed toes and buckles, kind of almost a Western or vintage look to them. They were originally $200. I was able to look up the style, and I did sell those for $38 on Poshmark. Next, a Buffalo Sabres. So I'm in upstate New York. I find lots of Buffalo Sabres items. This was a long sleeve raglan baseball shirt. It was brand new with tags, and I sold that for $22. Next, a pink plush, and I bought this for 99 cents at my Salvation Army. I sold it for $15, so a small bread and butter sale, but a beautiful, cute bunny rabbit with a toile pattern to the fabric. Next, a pair of Reebok Speedwick gray yoga pants, great condition. I wouldn't pick up Reebok leggings again. They took forever to sell, and I only sold them for $10 just to basically get my money back. I think I picked them up for $3.99 when I was starting to get into athletic wear, and I wouldn't do Reebok as a brand again, at least not that particular style and pattern. Another Talbot's item. This is a cotton zip Christmas cardigan, and I sold it for $25. I picked it up for $4.99. It was an extra small petite, so very tiny, and it took a while to sell. Next, a dressy sheer button-up plus size shirt. I had a lot of things sell in October and November that had been sitting a long time. All of a sudden, this stuff just started selling. So I was, pumping it out at these low prices to make my money back. You want to make a profit, of course, but I also wanted to make back my money. So I sold this for just $10. Again, just get it out the door. Next, a vintage wool blend sweater. This had these really cool llama alpaca figures on it. No name brand, nothing like that, but it was a wool blend and it did have that cool design. I paid $2.99 and I sold it for $26. Next, a mohair sweater. I've sold the same sweater twice. This sold for $25. It's from Anthropology from the store. The brand is called Sleeping on Snow. Just a really cool tunic style sweater, and I sold it for $25. Next, a pair of monogrammed earmuffs. I thought these were so cool. They were dead stock in their original box. You can use the term dead stock or new old stock. And that just means something that's still got its tags or still is in its box. It was never used, but it's old and vintage. This was, they had H's on the ears. So of course they sold them to someone named Heather. And they sold those for $19. I picked them up for 79 cents at my Salvation Army. Another item that just took forever, it was nothing special. It was a beige tan loft cardigan with metallic stripes. Picked it up on 99 cents, sold it for $10. Next, a grandpa sweater, but it also had this, it was Shetland wool. So Shetland wool is special because it's from a particular area in the UK. And it had this great graphic, kind of almost Aztec Western pattern on it. I sold it for $27 and had picked it up for $2.99 at my Salvation Army. Next, a DreamWorks Spirit from the Spirit movie, horse sweatshirt. It was called Friendship. I picked that up on 99 cents and sold it for $20. A Guess coat. Again, coats really are a great pickup because people will pay up for coats, like shoes and boots and handbags. There are things that people will pay up. An average person, even someone who doesn't spend lots and lots of money on clothing, is going to pay up for a coat or a nice pair of boots, things like that. So I did sell that for $45 and I picked it up for $7.99. It was by Guess, beautiful condition, houndstooth, and it had it was an extra small. So it took a while to sell because of the small size, but I got a nice price for it. Another graphic t-shirt. I loved this t-shirt. This took a while to sell because I kept my price up. I sold it for $44, bought it for 99 cents. It was very, very thin, which is another sign of a vintage t-shirt. And it was single stitch. It had this casino from Reno, Nevada and Lily's Dance Hall on the front. Just a really cool vintage graphic t-shirt from the 80s for $44. Next, a plush robe in emerald green with this piping. It was the real big plush, like polyester, but that plush fabric, and it was green. It's really pretty, beautiful green color. I picked that up for $4.99 and sold it for $30. Next was a bundle. These took a long time to sell, but they eventually sold for full price in a bundle of brand new with tags American Eagle long sleeve t-shirts. They were a medium size, right before Christmas, so someone was probably giving them as a gift. I got $22 each for those, and I paid just 99 cents for those. Next, a pair of emerald green velvet rhinestone pumps. I put holiday in there and heels. These were green velvet shoes, so you know you're really probably only going to sell them right before Christmas. So I pictured somebody wearing these with a special holiday outfit, maybe in a choir, something like that. Really unique and pretty shoes, but I picked them up for just $1.99 because they were so unusual. They were a no-name brand, but I sold them for $29. Next, one of my favorites, Pendleton. This was merino wool in a brick red color, a men's vest. I paid $2.99 and I sold that for $25. Next, not a great sale. I paid $15 for this, 15 or 20. So I really just made my money back. This was an equestrian hat, and they really don't sell all that well. I picked it up with a bright blue, sapphire blue, that I sold for a much higher price, but this basic black only sold for $24 on Poshmark, so I really just made my money back on that. Next, a great brand. This is a high-end brand, Ted Baker. This was a Ted Baker skirt, sold for $25, and I picked that up for $3.99 at my thrift store. Silk floral photo album just sold for $10. It had been listed for quite a long time. Got it out the door. Same with the next 3 items in a row. There were things that I was just getting out the door, and everything was selling that had been listed such a long time. This was a pleated A-line midi skirt suit set. It was from a brand called College something, and it had that really cool academia look. So dark academia or light academia are terms that you can use that people will look up to find that kind of a look, that studious look. Next, this was a Benetton from Italy sweater, very small. It was 100% lamb's wool, and I sold it for $16 to get it out the door. Same with this 2008 A-Rod New York Yankees raglan t-shirt with the raglan sleeves. Sold it for $14. I think I paid $1.99 for that. And finally, another coat. This was a vintage long coat that had the wrap scarf just built in. So really unique, very cool, very mod looking, 1960s, and a gray and cream color. I paid just $6.99 for that, and I sold that for $55 on Poshmark. So I'm doing just eBay and Poshmark today. I did have some sales on Mercari and some sales on Facebook Marketplace, and I'm going to include those in a future video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope some of these sales have helped you get an idea of what to look for, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Happy thrifting, everybody. Go out and find the money.